Last night was our $7th $1 million show. Eddie and I have a group called the Raging Idiots, and we invite friends to come play with us. And they show up, and we play songs and raise a bunch of money for St. Jude. We don't keep any of the money. It's exhausting, but it's worth it when it's over and it's pulled off. And we always bring out surprise guests. And so, some of the I have friends that I can call on if I'm like, hey, I need you so I can build this show around you. Meaning, if I get John Party, who is a close friend, or I can call Sam Hunt, and be like, do you mind playing this show? Because people are going to love it. And then also other artists will go, oh, John and Sam are playing. We're happy to play if they've never heard of the show. Yeah. We need those artists to build around. And so that's what happened with John and Sam and Megan Maroney. And I was so grateful that they said yes. And so Matt Carney and Ben Rector and all these artists show, and it's amazing. But we always have 2 or 3 surprise guests for different reasons. And we had Turnpike Troubadours in studio, and it's my wife's favorite band. And I listen to them all the time now because of her, but it's, Good Lord Lori.
Oh, good Lord Lori, I love you now. Go more wrong. So good.
So they came out and played full band, which was super cool. And then Lit showed up and played. And the crowd, it's like there was a human explosion in the Ryman because that intro lick hits, that goes, dun 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 dun. And then he comes out, and the first letters are, can you, my voice is a little dead.
Can you forget about the things I said when I was drunk?
I didn't mean to call you that. Da-da. Yeah,
there it is.
They could have removed every seat and pew from the place after that because the place was going bonkers because that song is so big. And those guys come out, and they're rock stars. They look like
they did in the 90s.
They got... Yeah, they're not even 90s. They're 2000s.
2000s, yeah. Okay, you're right.
So they're like, holy crap. So after that, Edwin McCain, who was super nice to come out. I've only got to know Edwin McCain in the past 4 or 5 years, but he has, I will be your crying shoulder. I will be. Yeah, thank you. Whole crowd singing along. Everybody's making love in the audience. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, everyone.
It was wild. And so scheduled, our final act was John Party. However, Morgan, number 1, and Tom, my manager, because Morgan's my manager too, they had been working so hard on getting our secret special guest. So hard. Even 4 days before the show, it was like, I don't know, it's 50-50. So I didn't want to jinx it. So I didn't tell anybody. I didn't even want to get Eddie's hopes up. Because I didn't want to get mine. And the only reason I even had to know is because just in case. I didn't want to know. And I didn't ask. I never asked. Oh, is it good? Is it good? Is it good? So as soon as they were like, I think it's 75%, I went to Eddie immediately. I said, okay, here's the thing. They say 75%. That's probably like 25%. I was even like.
And I was still like, okay, well, I guess that's. Right. Bobby doesn't really look hopeful right now, so I don't know.
I wonder do I ever look hopeful.
I feel like even if it was 99.9, Bobby'd be like, it's probably that.
Right.
So the day before, they're like, it's 90%. And I'm like, I still don't believe it because artists this big, they're so big, they could just go, I don't want to do this. And nobody even questions it because they're so big. And then that morning, it turns into 99% because we have a big security meeting at the Ryman because there are so many artists coming in and out. It's not like security has to watch one artist. It's transitions of teams and people going in and out. So this artist, his people went to the security meeting. And we're like, it's 99%. The show starts, and I haven't said who it is yet. The show starts, and it's not written anywhere because we didn't want anybody to, even backstage, to accidentally see it and post it. Because again, we don't want it ruined. And 2, I didn't know. I don't know this person. I didn't know this person. I didn't know if he was going to show up or not. And so I'm thinking he's going to walk in like 5 minutes before, and there'll be a delay. No, he got there 45 minutes early. So I'm told with about 5 or 6 songs left, hey, this secret special artist is here. And I'm like, already? They're like, yeah, he's in the back just practicing because he wants to do a cover when he comes out. And I was like, that's awesome. Now, I'm in the middle of hosting it, but also we're playing songs, so I don't even have time to go say hi or really introduce myself. Turnpike Troubadours, when they come out, they do full band, and we walk off the stage. For 3 minutes, I went back to his dressing room, and I was like, hey, man, thank you so much. And I didn't want, there were a bunch of people were blocking his door, muscle men. I already felt like I was in the way, but did not feel like that once I was in there. He was so nice. He was like, what's up? Because this is so cool. He's been watching the show on the feed in there. He was like, thank you so much. I'm going to change up the song I'm going to do because I love playing at the Ryman. We talked for a few minutes, and I didn't want to leave, but I had to go. I was like, I hate to stop this conversation, but I got to go back on stage because we were playing with John Party. So we walk out, and they get in my ear, and they're like, hey, there's a guitar problem with the person. Hold on, can you stall for just a minute? So the whole band's off stage. It's just me, and I are like, okay, stall. And then I'm thinking, he ain't coming out. They just got me. Guitar problem. I knew it'd be something. And so then finally they're like, it's all clear. And I was like, really? They go, yeah. And I didn't do a big like, here he is. Very subdued. I just said, I'm super grateful. Here is our surprise artist tonight, Post Malone. He came out.
Interrupted.
The place was so surprised. We got him. Like everything was hidden. Post Malone comes out, super kind, plays a Hank Sr. song first up. It's awesome. Because you hear a song like that. Ray, hit that again. And so early on, obviously, Post was just a rapper. But we thought he was like a rapper.
Yeah.
So I didn't know really in person how good of a singer he would be, but he was practicing when I went back there. No, he's good. He's really good. He's a really good singer. He's just a good singer.
Like even just in his dressing room with him.
He was sitting
guitar.
on the toilet, lid down.
Oh.
Really?
In the bathroom where the acoustics were good. It was him and Ernest, and they were running through the song.
Really?
Yeah, and I know Ernest.
I didn't even know Ernest was there.
Yeah, he was there. And so I was like, I didn't say it, but I was like, dang, he's good. So he comes out and he plays the first song, then he plays his new single, and the crowd's going insane. And then I'm like, thank you, everybody. And everybody's just shocked that Post Malone just showed up and played a couple songs. And so I have to go do a couple interviews right afterward. I have a couple St. Jude things I get to right after the show and sign some stuff. But I look back and Post Malone has not left the stage, and he's down talking to people at the stage. He probably sat there for 25 minutes.
Easy.
And just talked to people that were watching the show. Just bent down in the front of the stage, talking to people.
I've never seen anyone do that.
I've never seen anybody do that. That's like not me.
Right.
And I'm just like, I hope you're not disappointed with buying the ticket to my show. That's always what I do at the end of shows.
And he didn't go down the front and just give everyone high
No,
fives.
he was like talking to people.
To everyone that stayed.
It was wild.
He laid down on the stage to take pictures with people. Like it was wild.
Crazy.
What a night.
No, then what's crazy is he left.
Yeah.
And he stayed in the alley behind the venue for 30 minutes taking pictures with people.
He
Wow.
did.
Just standing out there in the alley behind the bars and between the Ryman and Tootsie's. He was just in the alley with the dumpsters taking pictures with people.
I would have never believed. I would have not believed. It wasn't that I'm like, there's no way he's like this, but he's so famous that usually doesn't happen because it creates something a bit bigger where then it becomes like a mob. But he sat there, and everybody that wanted to talk or say hi, he did. One of the biggest stars in music right now, period. And also, more now than ever, especially after watching him practice that in the back and hearing him sing, like that, he's like a Texas dude who loves country music.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even a gimmick thing. It's not. I mean, it's not even a thing. He doesn't have to do it. He doesn't need to do that. You can tell that he finally gets to do it, where he's finally big enough to do whatever he wants to do. And he's like, I now want to do this project because this is like a passion for me.
And it's not like he said, I'm going to do a Hank Williams song. I'm going to learn it real quick. Like he knew all the words.
And he brought us, what happened was, why there was a bit of a delay was, he was like, I want this to sound really good. So they called in a second guitar player really quick. I think it was Ernest's guy.
Okay.
So that's what took the extra few minutes.
To, like,
because that's why
drive
they
up
were
there?
practicing. Yeah, no, to get up there. Post Malone was awesome. Yeah. And he also, I'm going to, again, be as honest as I can here. He smelled pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like
surprisingly.
What? Cologne?
I don't know if it was cologne. I just thought he would smell like tattoos.
Beer and smoke?
Just, what tattoos smell. I don't know. No, he smelled pretty good.
Wow, okay.
And so he went up to Caitlin and was side stage like 30 minutes before and was just hanging out talking with her, and he left and walked to talk to somebody else. And Caitlin was like, Post Malone just came up and he knows he didn't know me. And I think he knows he doesn't know the person he's talking to over there now. But like he was just hanging out talking with folks.
That's so cool.
It was a wild show last night. There were so many cool things I will at some point in my mind be able to remember and go through. But Sam and John and Megan Maroney, like they were really the pillars that allowed us to build that show around them this year.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for that. But
Ian Munsick was awesome.
Post Malone showed up and just it was wild. I don't even know what else to say. And it was even more wild. He stayed and just hung out with everybody.
Another crazy thing he did when he left in the car, he just rolled down the window and went rolling down the street with the window down. I'm like, Post Malone, you might want to roll your window up. But he just had his head out the window saying hi to people as he's driving. And I'm like, dude, roll the window up.
One of the most famous people in music, period,
That's
in the whole
awesome.
world right now. So, and the secret was able to be kept, which never happens. So, that's all. And I don't even know if you guys got to meet him at all, because I only met him, talked to him for that one brief time and had to get back. And then I hugged him a couple times on stage and was able to say, hey, really, thank you. And he was like, are you kidding? Let's do it again. I'm like, well, we don't do it again for another year.
Let's do it again.
Well, what about Mike D?
Mike D, did you get to meet him at all?
Oh, boy.
Idol.
Oh, boy.
I was anticipating it the whole night. I saw him walk in when he first got there.
Yeah.
And like my body like just left me.
Did you not? Could you have said hello?
I could have, but I was like, I'm just soaking the moment. Not a good time to stop him.
Okay. And so then he goes to the back.
Yeah, he's there the whole time.
Okay, true. And there really was nobody. His people were muscular.
Big dudes.
Outside the door.
Yeah, and then they came out when he was about to go on and kind of cleared the area.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, we're going to get pushed out of here. I'm not going to get to meet him.
Did you get pushed out?
No, we stayed there. We stood our ground.
Yeah, I felt like nobody really got put. I think his lane, his people know to clear lane. But then he's like, no, it's okay. Don't you have to clear it.
Wait, so Mike didn't?
Did you not meet him at all?
Nothing?
And then I thought they were going to like cart him off right when he left. But when I saw he was going and meeting everybody, I was like, oh, he's definitely going to come back this way. We hung out there where his people were. And then when he came back, I met him.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
yes!
That's awesome.
Did you touch him?
I did. I shook his hand. I told him I was a huge fan. He said, thank you so much. I was like, can we take a picture?
Oh, you got a picture too?
And I got a picture. I'm about to
That's
post it right
awesome.
now.
That's
Yeah.
great,
That's the one
Mike.
thing I was wondering, because I was wondering, did Mike meet him? But I didn't have time to even do anything.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, it's a great show. If you came last night, that's awesome. If you didn't come, it doesn't matter. Just know it's fun to hear other people talk about things you didn't go to.
Yeah. And Mike also, he was drinking a beer. Mike got the beer can.
Oh, Mike wasn't drinking a beer.
No.
You got Post Malone's Bud Light beer can?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's funny and weird, but more funny.
No,
But how awesome is that?
That's-
He has it on display in his house.
What if Mike was drinking his coffee out of it today or something?
He cut the top, and every morning he drinks out of it. Okay, hold on. We'll come back. Here's a voicemail we got last night, number 1.
Oh my gosh, I just saw Post Malone. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I bet he is so nice. He sure seems to be. Oh, way to go, Bobby Bones, getting Post Malone. Way to go, dude.
Thanks.
Way to go, man.
That's pretty cool. Here's number 2.
Hey, Bobby, I'm not going to leave my name because I called out of work last night to go see your $1 Million show, and I just want to say that it was totally worth calling out of work for. Highly recommend for anybody who's never got the chance to go to a $1 Million show. If you ever do, go. This is my second year in a row going, and both years I've had to call out of work to go, and each time it was totally worth it. Thank you for the great night, Bobby.
Thanks. Thanks to everybody who came, raised a bunch of money for St. Jude. But she wanted to be anonymous, but I wanted to change my voice a little bit.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's
It's
really
very
nice.
I am not supposed to be going. We had some people that bid and bought the tickets on Charity Bus, 4 front row seats, and they drove in from St. Louis. And I was like, they can't just come to the show. I want to meet them. They come and hung out in the dressing room before with me. And the woman who won was super nice, and she had one of her friends. Her friend's son is the starting goalie for Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Joseph Wool.
You told me that, and I was like, I don't believe you. And then she told me, I'm like, okay, I believe her.
And so I messaged him. She was like, he's super nice, went to Boston College. He's the starting goalie for. And so I messaged him on Instagram, and I was like, one single message. I said, hey, I'm with your mom.
Oh my gosh.
He wasn't lying, though.
I wasn't lying. I was with his mom.
What did he say?
And nothing. He didn't respond.
He was on Kick Your...
Yeah, he didn't respond. No, he didn't respond at all there. One more voicemail. Ray, hit this one right here.
I was just wondering if you, Bobby Bones, and or the Raging Idiots were planning on going on a tour either this summer or this fall. My husband asked me what I would like for my 30th birthday, and that is definitely what I want, except for it wouldn't happen unless you guys are actually going on tour. So just wondering if you could announce that, or should I think of something else for my birthday?
Sadly, you have to think of something else.
So for her birthday, she wants us to
can
go
just
on
come-
tour?
Yeah, she can just come to our house.
Okay.
For a birthday present. We'll just play for her.
You can do that.
Yeah. Enough. We will save this for the end of the show to talk about it. Thank you all for coming. We did break out Jesus Knows last night.
It's
Because
been a bit.
Chris Tomlin loved it. He made covered at his shows. It's the Raging Idiots Christian song. We should put this on Christian radio.
Oh, yeah.
We just wrote it from our hearts.
What?
It wasn't about a genre.
Yeah, of course.
You mean like Way FM?
Yeah, like
Sure.
like K-Light, K-Love.
The Fish.
And they're like, thank you. That was a song from Michael W. Smith. And now let's get to a song about what Jesus knows from the Raging Idiots. This is live.